Progress. Yes, we will make some progress here. This is Sunday, so we're going to be bringing some spiritual message from the Starseed Oracle Deck today. But today is the 18th of December 2022. So again, 12, the hangman, we've got to suspend action, we've got to change our perspective, all of that stuff. 6 for the year is the lovers, the year of love, which is soon to end. Then we will be going into 7 with 2023, which is the chariot, which is swiftness and taking charge. We have to claim our sovereignty and take charge of our own chariot and guide it, instead of letting them guide it with their disinformation campaign. Let's say that. All right, going to the Schumann, we will see that we have number 5. 5 it says there. And that came in at 330 there. I already looked. 330, 33 is the master number for the master teachers, but it also is 6, the lovers card. So beauty, balance, intuition, and partnership, right? 5, on the other hand, is the Hierophant, and that is, could be the Pope. The card was modeled after the Pope, complete with the 2 monks with the bald spot on their head. Let's see, what else can we say? Oh, a spiritual messenger, bringing the word of God through, like channelers sometimes do. Not everybody channels the same thing, right? Though maybe it is the same thing. Is it all just our higher selves, and our higher selves are all connected to the same thing? Well, this is what Jung thought, that there was a collective consciousness of humanity, of the world, the Gaia Sophia, the earth knowing, terra firma. So the amplitude of power 5, spiritual message, we're going to take care of that with the Starseed Oracle. The power of the quality is 8.00. So 8 is the strength card. We will see that in 2024. And strength is both strength and courage, right? If you have a strong heart, a courageous heart, then you will be strong in your presentations and your efforts, right? And I have a lion's heart. Anyway, moving swiftly along to the frequency. That 8 is also about both inner strength and strength in numbers. So we have our own inner strength because we're children of God, if you will. And we also have strength in numbers for the same reason. We have all that inner strength, and if we combine all of our inner strengths and focus on one thing, then, well, in Lynn Targer's book, it's the power of 8, right? 8 people. I think she says that's just because any more than 8 people, and then it gets kind of dicey as to whether they can all agree on one thing. This is indeed our big problem, is because they use the collective against us, and we seem to be powerless against it because we don't use the collective for what we want. And what do we want in the future? That is really what we want to say. What is it that you want to see in this future Earth, this new Earth that we're co-creating as we go forward here? 7.98 hertz for the high frequency, 7.84 hertz for the low. Um, Combined, that gives us 1582, I believe, 1582, which is 7.91, which is 17, the star, which brings us hope. We are hopeful. It also brings us clarity of vision so that we see things clearly. And we can clearly see that things are going to hell in a handbasket, right? We've got FTX, we've got Biden, we've got, let's see, who else? Oh, Pelosi and Paul Pelosi and all that bullshit that they put up. We've got the Ukraine, we've got Putin, we've got Z, we've got lockdowns and people being burned up in apartment buildings. I mean, it looks pretty bad out there, doesn't it, folks? Well, I don't think it's all that bad. I mean, there's you and me, you know, we're doing okay, right? Aren't we? Be truthful, folks. Are we having a bad time? Really? You've got internet, or else you wouldn't be able to watch this. And I'm assuming if you've got internet, you probably got a shelter and a food. Though I mean, I shouldn't assume. There might be a homeless person that still's got their iPhone and can go onto YouTube and wants to know what the Schumann weather is like, what the weather is going to be like. Well, I'm not really a weatherman per se. Sometimes that comes up in Ben's stuff because he is into that science, weather science, solar weather too, because he feels that that is important, and it is. So we've got this big, well, it's not that big, but it's very pronounced. It kind of looks like the sun is kind of winking at us. It's got a wry grin, right? Uplift right here. And, well, no, it's like center stage there. But anyway, so we will have that coronal hole showing up in the next couple of days, they say. And looking at the endless spiral, what do we see here? There's a little poof, just a wee poof coming off right there. We'll call that a class C, and it's going away from us, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, coming over here and looking at the X-rays, we see we have no phi angle flips, and the X-ray in the red is coming down, it seems. It's flipping, it's touching zero there. But the black line is going up, so curious that. So we haven't had any flaring directly at us. I think that's because those sunspots are turning, the ones that were flaring turn away from us, and the ones that are incoming haven't, where we got that small CME coming off, hasn't turned directly at us just yet. So looking at the midline there, or the 10 line, as 10 protons, we see that we're both above it and below it. We might be coming back up to it right now. So that'll put us at 10, maybe as high as 20, and as low as 8. It's weird how that goes. So from here to 10 is the same distance from 10 to 100. I think that's what it is up there, 100. Right, so 10, 100. You would think this would be 50, but no, it isn't. It's like it goes in weirdly different kind of chart there. All right, looking at our solar wind speed here, we're right at 300 to 320, I'm going to say. We're right in the We're right over the line. We just came over the line. So, yeah, we might be up to the 350. Might have got up there right there. 320, let's say 330, something like that. The temperature is about mid chart here. Well, no, I guess it's on the, that's the 1/3 mark there, isn't it? So whatever that means in less than 500,000 Kelvin. Yeah, don't know. Alrighty, looking at the K index. We see from midnight to 9 this morning, UTC time, Tomsk, Russia, and the line down from that. So Mongolia, Tibet, India, and Western Australia, about somewhere in there. Is where 0 UTC is. Looking at the K index of geomagnetic activity, that's what the K index is all about. We see that we had just a little bit above 0, and then we dropped flatlined, and that got us to 9, and then from 9 until noon, we were at a solid 1. Then we kind of went from noon to 3 down to 2/3 of a 1, and maybe a little bit more, maybe 3/4 of a 1 right there. Then we go over 1, about the amount that we went under on these two. So that would all average out to a 1. And then we went up to a 2. We got up to a 2 at the end of the day here. Aren't we doing good, folks? Aren't we just marvelous? We're right at the mid mark where we want to be. Not too low, not too high. Just right. So there we go. Oh, let's play a little bit of Ben's video. What the heck? I'm gonna give him credit. He created this site, or he updates it.
Good morning, folks. We'll watch some activity on the sun.
And here we are coming across
review pre-seismic signals and where you can learn more. And we'll see one of the effects of the 6,000-year half harmonic of Earth's disaster cycle. But we are starting with our star, and you may have already noticed a bit of activity. In addition to having the coronal holes crossing the central heliographic longitudes over the last few hours, we can now see that the brightness of the new active regions has crested into view on the left. The departing spots on the south, bottom right, still have a bit of juice and are surging a bit of plasma, and the same can be said for the developed spots incoming on the north, top left. In 304 angstroms, you'll first see bottom right activity at the active region, and afterwards, one of the surges top left at the new active region. C-class flaring only, but with every reason to continue closely monitoring these new sunspots. Coronal hole solar wind has a chance to enhance geospace conditions in 2 to 3 days, but that is expected to be minor. Folks, as cold as it is in some places, a major Arctic blast is on the way, even stronger than this last one. Pulling the temperature forecast for the 22nd, we see sub-freezing temperatures reaching down into Mexico. There's one day
into Mexico, sub-freezing temperatures. My. Holy cow. Here comes the sun, my little ones. Actually, the sun is shining right now. Low. It's like already setting, starting to set. And it's only 3:40 Pacific Standard Time, PM. Here, and we must not forget, because we promised, the Starseed Oracle cards for today. I'm hearing we'll pull 2. We'll go for 2. What does the Starseeds want to say about the energies of today? What is the spiritual message from the Starseeds today? Is this the one? Is this the one for the collective? Yes. Okay, now you convince me. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't start swinging really radically at the beginning. I think that's like a soft no or soft yes. Star Keeper, it says. I don't know whether you can see that image. These are watercolors, I think, and they kind of. So there's a face there. It might be alien because I see that the nose ridge goes right up the forehead there. And what does it say here? Cosmic ancestors seed the light by staying grounded. Well, yeah, I mean, oftentimes when I'm connecting to Shala, what I'll do is connect the heart to the heart of the earth, and then connect that heart and my heart to the star, and then connect that heart of the star to the center of the galaxy, and that way I have a connection to the galactic grid, and I can zero in on where Shala is, which is on planet ship. We'll just call it that. I'm hearing that they move to where the energies are the best for them. So it's a bit different than just a planet. Plus, they kind of live inside it. You got anything else you want to give me here? Well, I just want to say that we are and we are the kin of star seeds. Some of you come from the Syrian collective because there's three stars in that system, even though Sirius A is the only one you see with the naked eye. This is the one that the Egyptians used to worship as Isis. And she was a starseed from that star system. She is even revered in Sirius B, and her soul fractal as incarnated there too. So the spiritual message that they want to bring through, this is the Council of 12, Shala, is well, okay, I'm hearing cliff high. So they want to talk about cliff high. So what they want to say is the cliff high was correct in part only for his presentation, most recent presentation. Which this one saw, they say, he spoke of the emotional, mental, and physical body, but he did not mention the spiritual body. And they want to point out that this is a failing of Cliff Eyes, who is indeed a very elevated being, but he is, through his ego, they say, has shunned the intuition that he might have here, though he uses his intuition, they say, quite readily, but he would not call it that. He thinks that it is solely something that he just knows because he's studied quite a bit, right? He is a computer geek, they say. So he's a little bit more focused in the mental realm than he is in either the emotional or spiritual realm. So this is his failing, they said, and they don't want us to. They want us to remember that we are spiritual beings. That's the important thing in this. That our spirit, our consciousness, our spirit consciousness, they would call it, is far more important in our day-to-day lives than we can actually realize. Excuse me, guys, I have to. Okay, coming back now. Yes, we would say that your spiritual growth is the most important thing that you're doing here on terra firma, on the planet Terra, or Gaia Sophia, if you so wish to call her that. Although we feel that we will be going more to the Terra term in the future. This is one of our predictions that we make for 2023, although we're not sure that that will come to be, other than this one will probably start using it more so. And we will be referring to it as such in the future. So on Terra, there are still beings that are have abrogated their soul, we would say, to such a point because of their buying of the pharmaceutical lying and breathing, we will say. And in fact, this is the pharmacopoeia of old, except they have made a caveat that it be made of petroleum products. We feel that the petroleum products are still needed on your planet because of but only because they have shunned other energy collection systems that are much more efficient and cleaner, you would say. But as long as they are still muddling along and trying to shut down these methods, you are left with nothing but petroleum products on which to fuel your world. Or your world as a very as planets go, kind of chaotic. It has extremes in temperature, extremes in weather. This contrast is very good for evolutionary growth, but it is not good for stability and maintaining said growth on into eternity. This is why, indeed, your planet is, as it's been called, birthing a new Earth, a new consciousness that can override the recurring nova events that are coming off of the sun in its particular orbit around the galactic arm that it vacillates between the Sagittarius arm and the Orion Nebula. So you are situated in between, and in between you will remain. This is why it's important for you to ground into the now and branch out into both your future and past and bring them into the now, and therefore changing all of your creation around you. We know this is a hard concept to wrap your consciousness around, but look into it, see if it works for you, we say. So, coming into your cosmic ancestors, we say, we have done this here on Sirius B, and we see that you are coming to a similar period in your life's, your planet's evolution, we would call it, that you are moving into these higher realms. You have been there before, and you will be there again. We are not sure about the 1,000 years of peace, but there will be a long period of peace where you will look at for your learning experiences in self-exploration. This is the essence, we say, of the age of Aquarius, is the introspection that it will give. Indeed, is not this day, the Hermit day, 36, we believe, is the number of the day, and therefore it is a 9 number, and that is the Hermit, to go within, is it not? This is what this one tells you all the time. Go within for inner wisdom. Go within your heart to find unconditional love. Go within your heart to be unconditional love. Go within your mind to find your inner wisdom. When you rely on your intuition and your insight, you will do much better in this world. Try it and see if you don't like it. And with that, we will leave you now and ask that you be at one with Source. Alrighty, back. I am, and sounded like a pretty good message there. I feel enlightened in a way. Well, hopefully this served you well on this Sunday, and that's your spiritual message. Pretty sure it was a spiritual message. Felt like very spiritual in it. So I hope that some of that transforms to you. This is my second channel here, Emerald Dragon Reiki. Emerald Dragon Reiki, it's all one in that title on this channel. And for that reason, I would ask you to look and see if you are subscribed. If you're not, please consider doing that. If you do look and see that you're subscribed, think about hitting that thumbs up or hitting the share, commenting. Any of those kind of interactions helps the algorithm so that they share this video with more people. And therefore I have the opportunity to gain more subscribers, and I get more perks, which I can pass on to you. I had actually gotten to the point where I had a community page on my Phil Christopher's account, and they gave me a strike, and well, I guess I still have it. I could probably use it, but yeah. Anyway, that's the way it is. I have to learn to control my tongue. I hope that they didn't say anything that's going to give me any problems. I do remember something about pharmacopoeia. So hopefully that didn't. Well, we'll see. What it is what it is. That's the message they came through with. I let it pass. It is for your entertainment purposes only, because, you know, I'm not an authority on much other than taxes for the state of Washington, not the IRS. I'm not one of those fuckheads. But anyway, we end this with love to you all.